here we have Patrick Roddie, geoengineering activist, and
stop spraying our stashtsf.com.
Exactly. Yeah. And I actually missed the lecture / speech today, and so I was hoping to get a synopsis from Patrick himself before I took off here. So, Patrick, how's the day been?
It was actually really good. Great turnout. I had a little bit of rain. We always love rain here. So I've been talking in different venues, showing. I had this paper called "The Human Health Impacts of Proposed Geoengineering Solutions."
Right.
I took that to the Paris conference and at the EPA and the Turkey thing.
Yeah.
But really, we're beyond the point of saying, "Is it happening?" Because all you have to do is look at the satellite imagery. It's blatant every day in your face. That debate is over. But for us to actually make a difference, we need to get awareness up to the level of people's awareness of like GMOs right now. Everybody knows about GMOs. Some people think they're okay. A lot of people would rather not eat them. And given the choice, people will generally not eat them. But I was describing this as a war because the third leading cause of death in the United States now is respiratory failure. Yep. What the hell?
Yep.
Overtaking stroke?
Yep.
Extrapolate that to 7 billion people. Think how many people that's killing. And I compared it to the bombing of Dresden, because the bombing of Dresden, you have the RAF and the US Air Force came in and just destroyed this beautiful city with like women and children and stuff, and there was like fire bombs and stuff. They could see the bombs coming down, but we can't. Well, most people aren't even aware the spraying's going on, but we have to treat anyone. I mean, the evidence is so freaking obvious at this point. Anyone who's told about it and says, no, I don't believe you, haven't given me enough proof, when you clearly have,
right,
is at best willfully ignorant. But I would, until they can prove otherwise, I consider them accessories to murder. They're accomplices in the and they're talking about a die-off. Yeah, they're freaking causing it. The skies are poisonous. So I was kind of pissy, but do watch it'll probably look better as I was like freestyling up with the thing there.
I'll watch
but yeah,
it.
it's so messed up, and I did curse there, and I'll try not to now. But it's so messed up, and it's like, forget about. And also, when you're talking to people, you will get people who will say, no, I don't want to think about that. And I respect those people, because whenever you find out the monstrosity of this crime, and like when I found out about 9/11 and like Building 7, how we've been...
Yeah, there we go.
So when I found out about that, it's a psychic shock. It's traumatic. It's like a bereavement, and with bereavement, you go through these stages of bargaining and anger and
denial,
whatever the stages are. But once you've gone through it, and then you find another thing. Oh, we're trying to kill you off with vaccines or whatever the next thing is.
Yep.
Eugenics, which is a long history thing. Look that up.
Yep.
So each next bit is easier, but when you talk to someone who hasn't gone through that trial by fire,
right,
they can see the flames between them and the truth, that they know it's going to be painful.
Yeah.
And
cognitive dissonance.
I understand that. I respect that, but people who have anything beyond a high school physics education, who are shown satellite imagery or water analysis or CDC statistics or whatever, and say, oh no, everything's fine, it's just water vapor, they are guilty and they should be punished. I mean, I'm not saying go fight them, whatever. They should be served with misprision of treason or misprision of felony, because public officials who are told of a crime formally and don't do anything about it, they can be served with this thing, and whenever they finally come out and say, yeah, we were doing it all along, but we didn't want to scare people, those guys, there's no statute of limitations on misprision of treason. And I like messing with them anyway, like take him to small claims court. Just mess with him, kick him in the shins. These guys always have to follow the letter of their law, so you can use their law against them. Just mess with them.
I've seen the Ken Caldera footage, which was superb, by the way.
Such a gift from Guy. He was he's comedic looking. I mean, what can I say? It was just tremendous.
Yeah.
So,
first of all, you should know that I share your satellite images.
Nice.
You get a lot.
Oh God, there's so many of them.
Yeah.
It's like I'm spamming Facebook. It's crazy.
And it gets a lot of attention because it really points out that it's a global thing.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely. Like Moscow's like you could barely see Moscow because it's like just freaking checkerboard. And China as well. Oh, and they're complaining, oh, the air quality in China is so bad. Well, yeah, stop spraying.
Yeah, yeah,
that's gonna help.
One of those lines in the sky. Yeah. So what in your opinion is the next step as more people awaken to this? I have a theory that once we hit a 10% critical mass of awareness, it'll spread throughout the planet, and then
I don't know what the tipping point is. That could be a number, but I think that the percentage is rising rapidly. I've been talking to people at random for years now, and are we okay on time? I can keep going.
We're good. Yeah.
And when I started doing it, like the street stuff was probably 2010, 2011. Oh, I forget when. You talk to a bunch of people, and the percentage of people that knew about it doubles maybe every 12 to 18 months by my personal thing. So I see that tipping point, whatever that tipping point is, arriving sooner rather than later. And it's very important for the powers that be to get us all on board and totally believe, the global warming thing is such an existential threat that this other thing isn't such a bad thing, and don't worry about it, and we're going to ignore it like people ignore torture. And that's what Ken Caldera was saying. Like, once they find out about it, like, yeah, they're okay with the stuff, they'll be fine with it.
Right.
No, we need to get it away from this whole global warming farce and down to simple freaking it's killing people, which it is. Third leading cause of death is respiratory failure. How the hell does that happen when we've got better emissions on cars? Yep. They've got scrubbers on the freaking power plants, the ones they're not closing down, and all our heavy industry and mining is just gone to freaking China.
Yeah.
We should have pristine air, and I'm getting like 160 micrograms per liter of barium in San Francisco rainwater. Yeah. Less than 1 gram will kill an adult human. That's chemical warfare.
Yeah.
God knows what else they're spraying because the trails are all different. So so today was less about lots of scientific fact and methodically prove because it was a different venue. It was a science convention, so I had to do the science thing in Paris. It was a regulatory thing in DC, so I had to frame it in regulatory things. But this is like a call to action. Just go out and talk to people. Do not expect me or a group or a politician or a meteorologist to say boo about it. You got to talk to your friends, your neighbors, your random people in a freaking supermarket, wherever you run across people, talk to. Especially, and they put show and tell on all the time. You just on a spray day. Luckily today, not too bad.
Not a good day today.
But there's plenty of show and tell for people to go and do this. And just talk to people, and you never know. It might be the final drop that gets people to be active. But also, when people are sort of hearing it from multiple sources, and suddenly it will become that thing about truth. First it's ridiculed, thought, and then becomes self-evident. I don't think we're that far away from the self-evident thing. They're trying to keep a lid on it, but they're starting to. I think they will try and wheel it out. I don't know what their schedule is, but if people already know that they've been lied to and it's toxic, so whenever they finally do come and say, oh hey. There's going to be opposition to it, and we have fought. People don't like GMOs. They fought back against GMOs, and Campbell's Soup this last week said they were going to go off GMOs, or at least label Campbell's with it's not exactly a health food company.
Right.
Trader Joe's. You know, it's
all connected.
So, and that wasn't because they felt altruistic. Oh, we want to make people healthier. They wanted to improve their shareholder value.
Right.
So I don't know what approach we can directly take, but that when you have a lot of people pissed and making like everyone who we identify as being a denier, we may as well steal that word back. They are guilty. They are guilty, and they should serve time for it. Frankly, all these guys should be breaking rocks.
Yeah.
Well, Rikers Island.
I think we're making progress. A lot of people I know, in my work, just friends, baseball league, they see that a genuine person like myself is, just kind of sounding the alarm and showing pictures of protests and stuff. And I feel like it's spreading like wildfire, the awareness of it. So
it is.
So thank you for your efforts on that.
Yeah, and I think another really important thing is the fear thing. Yeah, okay, it sucks. They're spraying really bad stuff, but there's plenty of really bad stuff. I mean, look at the 20th century, all this like slaughter and horribleness. I mean, that's just part of life. There's sucky stuff, and this is one of them.
Parasites.
But you shouldn't get torn up with fear inside. Fear is really quite
false evidence.
It's pointless.
Yeah.
It's like I say, hate is like drinking poison, expecting the other guy to get sick. It's pointless.
Right.
If you're frozen by fear, you're gonna have a bad time anyway. But if you're in that fear mode, we're killing everybody, and then you go to talk to somebody, they're gonna think, oh god, this guy's crazy.
Right.
I mean, they are a.
Thanks for the talk.
All right, awesome. They are paper tigers. Again, mentioned Ken Caldera. He's supposed to be the authority. He filled it like a deck of cards. It's really quite pathetic. These are little evil, little weak people, insecure, and I'm doing this because what they're doing is wrong, and that's it.
Your moral compass, yeah.
They are motivated, like the disinfo people, and there's lots of them. Trust me.
Oh yeah, the shills.
Yeah,
Nick
I mean,
West.
if someone's first time they see this video and like it, or make a comment saying, "Yeah, screw chemtrails," you will get attacked by some bot saying, "Oh, you're one of these."
Right.
But those guys are motivated by, maybe they want like a bigger TV or a new car or something, which isn't really the sort of motivation that we have, because it's wrong. It's killing people. That's motivation enough.
Yeah. I have a theory that a parasite only exists as long as its host.
It needs a host.
Its host is unaware of its presence. So once the host, us, is aware of its presence, parasites have no chance.
Well, I said before that these, I call them the scumbags, whoever's behind the spraying. I don't know who they are. I know kind of what, whatever.
Right.
Whoever decided to do this and implement it, the parasite class.
Yes.
They are like a tick on the collective behind of humanity / the earth.
Right.
And all we need to do is scratch.
Right.
And I'm not promoting violence, because once you get into that, you're into the same fear thing, which is sucky. Because you can achieve so much more, but just by, love. I know it sounds corny, but if you're true,
it's real.
It's
real. Yeah. Well, I think that's a good way to summarize it.
Yeah.
Any last words?
Stop spraying.
Stop spraying us, and more love, right?
And more love.
All right. Thanks, Patrick.
Awesome.